PBR. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Jerry, did you get something?
I got the solo cup. I had the last swig of the Cava de Oro, best tequila on the planet, because I haven't been back here in like 3 months. So,
Okay, well, we're going to dive into all of it. Cheers. Welcome into this edition of Road Trip. And I'm Allie Clifton, Channing Frye, Richard Jefferson. Our guest can probably introduce himself. If you're a baseball fan, if you know baseball, you recognize him, you know him. He's a colleague of mine at Spectrum Sportsnet. He's a friend of Richard's. He'll probably become a friend of Channing's.
He dated Channing's sister, or Channing dated his sister.
You got that?
No.
We'll get into all of that.
15 years ago.
He's a World Series champion with the Yankees in 2009, played in the majors for 15 years.
16, but who's counting?
16, but who's counting?
Oh, that's the second longest in this group.
He's an analyst on the Dodgers Network currently, and the newest host of the newest podcast, Caught Looking. His name is Jerry Hairston Jr. Jerry.
Hey, cheers. If we had the sound effects, I say it every episode.
Yeah, what would
I
your
appreciate it.
be?
It would be like applause. It would be like applause welcoming our guest.
Thanks for having me on, guys. Appreciate it. Look
Okay.
forward to it.
Can you stop acting so professional?
Yeah, stop.
Well, before we got on, I was trying to get riled up because, I'll tell everybody now, I met Channing years ago. It was right before the NBA draft. I left him tickets to a Cubs game. We got right after the Cubs game, and not 10, 15 minutes into the Cubs game, he started asking me about my sister, and he asked me if he could date my sister, and I said, absolutely not. That ain't happening, bro. Especially you about to get picked in the NBA. You're going to have to for life in professional sports. Leave my sister alone. And to Channing's credit, he didn't pursue my sister.
Listen, you got to shoot your shot. You got to be polite, man. A little old school.
Did you show him pictures? Did you show him pictures of your sister? Like, how did this conversation get brought up?
No, because he knows Phil Torres, who came with me, who Phil played on Arizona with us.
I know
from Naperville.
I know fucking Phil.
So Phil, actually, if we really want to get into it,
Please.
Phil's older sister, me and her went out a couple times in high school. So I knew Phil's older sister, and then obviously Phil was good friends with my younger brother, and then obviously Phil went and played basketball with you guys at U of A.
Oh, so you did the tango with Phil's sister.
Oh, come on. We're not
Hey,
getting
dude, this player is horrible.
Yeah.
Can we really get into it? Because when I put on the text chain, obviously you, Jerry, and Richard know each other because you're also in a fantasy football league, correct? Together?
Correct, yes.
You guys know each other. But as we were talking about having you on the episode, 10 minutes later, Channing's like, can someone send me shit on Jerry Hairston? I don't know anything about him.
Well, I thought it was your brother, to be honest. So that was like, oh, shit. I got sense. And I was like, hold on.
And then he called me and talked about Phil. And he was like, oh, I know. So
it's a long time ago. It's a long time ago. But I'm still a Cubs fan. I still tell everybody to this day, it's the best sporting event, best baseball sporting event.
Yeah, I was trying to, you know what? I forgive you because I did have a brother, Scott, that played as well. So they do mix us up from time to time. So you are forgiven. And you know what? You're right. Going to a Cubs game in the summer at Wrigley Field is kind of like that college football type of atmosphere. Fans are going crazy every single day or night. So if you haven't been to Wrigley Field, I suggest you get there in the summer when everything opens up.
Yeah, totally.
So how have you been spending quarantine, Jerry?
Mostly I've been in Scottsdale, Arizona. That's where I make my home. I like to play golf. I play a lot of golf there. Fortunately, we're able to social distance on the golf course. I have 3 young kids, a son that's 14 who's a pretty good baseball player. So I've been spending time with him, and 2 daughters. One plays volleyball, is really good at volleyball, and the other one loves softball. So it's been kind of cool to be around my kids an awful long time as far as, being there every single day.
No one cares. No one cares.
And,
no one cares.
So it's so important.
Can you express? No one cares. No one cares. No one
I'm
cares.
trying to using this podcast.
We don't
being the running for Father of the Year.
Going, Jerry. Since I am the host, I have muted Richard.
Wait. So what area of Scottsdale?
I live in North Scottsdale in the DC Ranch area.
Okay, you out there near true north, huh?
I am. When are we going to start talking about Channing's tweet he made about a month or so ago about Michael Jordan? When are we going to start?
Yeah,
we can start. But first, I want to say, like, we don't speak glowingly about our kids on this podcast. That's not what this is. How it's for. This is a podcast that our kids don't hear or listen to, so we can tell the truth, right? Like if Lil Rich says, "Watch this one more time," and does a lane jump, I might throat punch him. I don't care. All right. It's like, dude, like you say, watch this, daddy, watch this. And it's, I look up from my phone, right? And all of a sudden he does something that lame. And I'm like, dude, it wasn't that cool anyway. Like, stop bothering me. Like, but he's not going to hear this podcast. And by the time he does, if he ever does, he'll find it funny. So we don't need to go down the list of all your proud accomplishments. I'm very sure you're talented and beautiful children based off their mother. So yeah, let's talk about.
Let me drink some more of my tequila if you brought up their mother.
There we go. There he is. There's the guy I know. The guy I know.
So from those who, again, maybe like the basketball, actually they probably do because Jerry thinks that he can hoop. He thinks he's better than the both of them.
No. I don't think I can hoop. I know I can hoop.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Sorry. He wants the Lakers to take him to the restart in Orlando. When I asked him to come on the podcast, I said, Jay Hare, and he said, what, do you need me to sign a 10-day with the Lakers? Like that was his response. Oh, so now as we dive into, I knew this conversation was going to happen. He is the ultimate Michael Jordan lover.
No.
Right? Yeah.
Historian.
Okay.
On the flip side, I have found myself in the hallway with you at work several times arguing because I think you are
You don't even, I'm not even say the word. I'm not even going to say the word. I know where you're going with this.
A hater.
Excuse me?
A hater.
Okay. Here's the deal.
Are you one of those people? Or wait, really quickly, because I want to know.
The Jordan night.
Are you one of those people that like you don't want you're a Laker fan, but you don't want the Lakers to win because you don't want LeBron James to win another?
No.
Are you one of those guys? You're like, he'll just be here for 4 years. I'm gonna be a Laker fan forever. I can give up this window. We'll win one in the future, but screw that.
That's ridiculous. First of all, if anybody knows me, I'm a Bulls fan. Okay, I grew up.
I just asked.
Yeah, I'm a Bulls fan. As you guys know, the Bulls haven't been relevant for years. Since I moved to LA, worked for the Dodgers, Lakers are right there. I always pull for the Lakers. We haven't been very good the last couple of years till LeBron came and gave us some type of hope and relevance. And then you add in AD, now this team has a chance to win. So as Richard stepped out, I'm sure
he does this all the time. He does it all the time.
I'll speak even louder. No, I definitely pull for the Lakers. James Worthy is there. Ali obviously now works for the Lakers here at Spectrum. So I am not a hater. I'm pulling for LeBron. I'm pulling for AD. I'm pulling for all the Lakers. I'm not just because they win. That has nothing to do with Michael Jordan. That's another thing. Just because I know LeBron's not better than Michael Jordan doesn't mean I hate him. He's one of the greatest basketball players of all time. You know what I'm saying? I love Scottie Pippen. That doesn't mean he's better than Hakeem Olajuwon. You know what I'm saying? I love Scottie, but I have to be real. I'm not going to lie. Just because I think Jordan is the greatest of all time doesn't mean Kobe is not great.
Based off of what facts? Based off of what facts? Like, what facts do you have to back that up?
Michael Jordan.
That's my issue. Is like, what facts are you going to back that up?
Forget about the championships. Forget about that. Michael Jordan's the greatest two-way player ever. He's a 10-time scoring champion. He's been a 9-time all-defensive player. You can make the case that Michael Jordan is the greatest offensive player of all time and the greatest defensive player of all time as far as a win.
I feel like you had like these notes, like you're like studying for a test.
I'm gonna get some headphones.
This is not a parole hearing, Jay.
It's because Jay.
If you know my history, I've had to stand in front of a judge a couple times, so trust me, I come prepared. Okay, it's up here again. It's not about feelings. It's not about how I feel.
Okay, but this is my thing. I understand like about great two-way players. Yes, I completely agree, and I don't really chime in that much on the Kobe, Michael, LeBron conversations because I think they're all the greatest because I think they're different. They're all very, very different. Like their obstacles were different. Their opportunities were different. Their show of greatness was different at different moments.
I
Right?
hate agreeing with you so much, Richard. Stop.
Yeah.
I hate agreeing with you.
I get paid to make people agree with me, Channing. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. But that's what I'm saying. So I don't get into the conversation. But yeah, he is a great two-way player. I just, I look at every game and how the game is constantly involved. And what people don't understand is like when MJ was scoring 40, they were only scoring 85 points. Right? It was like that.
He was taking 26 of the shots.
Yeah, he took all the shots now. Like MJ took
all the shots.
But here's the thing, and you guys played. You guys played.
So,
Here's what's amazing to me. He is the number one in PER in the history of the NBA. He's the number one points per game in the history of the NBA. He's the number one points per game.
Wait. No, wait. Point?
Yes.
Oh, playoff. I was like playoff. He's not point per game total, point per game average.
No, he's the number one in points per game average.
But that's why I know I was talking about postseason.
And postseason.
That's what I'm saying.
As you guys know, when you're just like in baseball, okay, it's a lot harder to get hits in the postseason. Why? Because teams can plan for you. They scheme for you.
And the talent of the pitchers in the postseason is better.
Absolutely. So in the postseason, in the NBA, you have a 7-game series. You know Jordan is going to get the ball. Mm-hmm. You know Jordan's going to take his shots. What's amazing to me, he's able to still not only score, but score even more and then be efficient at it. He scored 34 points per game in the postseason, which is a record, on 50% shooting, 49.5%, okay? 50% shooting, which is ridiculous to me, which every team runs and doubles him, and he's still able to get his shot off because he's so skilled and still be able to make his baskets. And also, in 1991, him and Magic Johnson were the only players to average more than 11 assists per game. Jordan averaged 11 assists per game in the final, and Magic 12 assists per game in the final. So those two guys are the only ones to do that. So Jordan not scored the basketball. He also was able to distribute the basketball as well.
Look.
Can I ask you, Richard? Let me ask you two questions.
You can ask me whatever the fuck you want.
Do you think Phil Jackson in a triangle is maybe the greatest system for Michael Jordan? Do you think there's another system that Michael Jordan, how about this? That was a loaded question. You can't double team people in the triangle.
No, well, they can in the post because I saw it happen. When Jordan got in the post, they doubled him.
And then who made it? Steve Kerr, who's arguably one of the greatest shooters of all time. That's why you can't double team. If you look at
first of all, I love Steve Kerr.
You can't double team Kobe.
Steve Kerr's a Dodger fan. I love Steve Kerr. Okay, Steve Kerr averaged 4 points a game. 4 points a game when he was the Bulls.
Let me say this. Wait.
He did his job. But hold on a second. He did his job. What I'm saying is the triangle was one of the best things that happened to Michael Jordan to help him win because it involved ball movement. It involved everybody touching the ball, okay? But as far as his numbers, before the triangle in 1988, Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but let's not talk about numbers because we're not talking about numbers. We're not talking about.
I'm just saying Jordan averaged 33, 8, and 8 before the triangle. So forget numbers. Jordan wasn't a numbers guy. He was all about winning, and that triangle helped Michael Jordan win because it allowed Scottie Pippen to really touch the ball.
But when you say like he averaged 4 points a game, this is what I understand.
No, he did his job. He did his job.
But I'm saying Steve Kerr was instrumental in the Spurs beating us in New Jersey because we were trying to double team Tim Duncan, who almost had a quadruple double in game 6, but then Steve Kerr hits 1-3, and now you just can't leave Steve Kerr. It doesn't matter if he has 50 points or if he has 3 points. You have to have one man attached to him, and your double game is over.
He's a threat.
Yo, who is watching a cartoon? It's Channing.
What?
Channing, stop watching cartoons, dude.
I'm not watching. My kids are right there. But you can still hear it. That's why I put the headphones on.
We hear all of it.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah,
I'll go in the other room. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, but let me ask you this. At that time, that Bulls team has gone down in history as the greatest team of all time. Right? Mm-hmm. And defensively, that is one of the greatest, if not the greatest team of all time.
Okay, wait. Wait. Really quickly, Channing, because I know what you're trying to get out of him, and I apologize. Jay Hare, this is what we're all going to do. They're all Allie. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to pick, and I want that person to make the argument for the individual that I'm going to give them to be the greatest. Okay? So, Channing, you've got Kobe.
Yeah. Okay.
You got Kobe. I want you to make a legitimate argument here for you believing. Doesn't matter what you believe. I need you to pull factual evidence out and explain to me why Kobe is the greatest of all time. Jay, I want you to do LeBron, and I'll do Jordan. So based off of our basketball knowledge, what we know, what we believe, we have to sit across and convince a jury. But like you said, been in front of a judge a few times.
I'll be your jury.
Yeah, she'll be the jury. We need to convince the group that whoever is the best player. I got MJ, Chang's got Kobe, you got Bron. Jay, why do you look like you're about to go take a long walk of death?
With me?
Yeah.
About LeBron? Because in my mind, I'm trying to make my case for LeBron in my mind. Right now.
Oh, see, right there. It drives me. Well, I'm trying.
Hey! The jury of our peers needs to be quiet right now.
Yeah.
That's a joke.
Excuse me, Jay?
You said you were the jury. You said you're the jury.
I'm
All
the
right,
jury. I'm going to mute, and I'm going to start with Channing, and then Jerry, and then Richard.
All right.
Okay? So Kobe, Channing, go.
No, make it convincing.
Dude, I'm horrible with stats. I know Kobe has 5 championships. He did almost what Jordan did against better competition. He, for the course of his 20-year career, was a 19-time All-Star or 18-time All-Star. There's not an award or there's not a thing that he hasn't accomplished in his time. And I just feel like when you look at what Kobe did against the super teams of now, I put that more than, no offense, and I'm going to get roasted for this, Kobe beating the Celtics, Big Three, Kobe beating the San Antonio Spurs teams, Kobe beating everybody else is a little bit better to me than Utah Jazz with Byron Russell. And that's just, I just, it's my opinion because I feel like Kobe is and should be up there.
No. Kobe's the
1A,
greatest.
1B, 1C.
Kobe's the greatest.
Okay.
Kobe's the greatest.
There we go.
I'm missing out on a lot of stats.
Jerry.
Stats.
It was very efficient because I like the amount of time you spent.
That was
Jerry,
good.
LeBron.
That was good. All right, Jerry.
Really quick.
Allie's smirking. Look at Allie's smirking.
Channing didn't mention Karl Malone, and he didn't mention John Stockton. He mentioned Byron Russell, but that's either.
But it's a lot of times.
So hold on.
Who's guarding you?
So we not mention Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce.
I'm just saying, Karl Malone's one of the greatest ever, bro.
Hang on.
Okay.
See, he's
You have
still
one.
trying to state his case for Michael Jordan. This is my thing.
right.
Now
Your guy
this-
is Bron.
Your
LeBron
guy's
James.
Bron.
LeBron James, okay, came into the NBA at 18. Already was a superstar before game 1, okay? Already a superstar. One of the greatest athletes of all time in any sport. You plug in LeBron James as a tight end, I'll take him on the football field. I'll train him as a baseball player, making him one of the best center fielders in the game. He's a
Nothing to do with basketball.
6'8", 200. I'm getting there. 6'8", 6'9", 265 locomotive. He's a 3-time NBA champion. 3-time NBA champion. Even though he plays forward, let's be honest, he's one of the greatest point guards of all time. Probably outside Magic Johnson, Jason Kidd, and a couple other point guards. He's definitely a top 5, top 10 passer of all time. He's unselfish, very unselfish. He's a great defender, or he was a great defender a long time. And if you look at the 2013 season, his second season with the Miami Heat, you can make a strong case that that's one of the greatest seasons individually of all time.
Wait, are you his third season? His third season. 2013 would be his third.
Yeah, third season
okay, third
with
season.
the Miami Heat when he was just so dominant. Okay, He's definitely the alpha male on every team he goes to, whether it's Cleveland, the Heat, and now the Lakers. And I'm trying to think of something else.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
James. Incredible.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
The greatest player of all time. I am the jury. That's who you're stating.
Yeah. Okay.
Jury won't say it. All right, Richard. Michael Jordan.
Is nobody going to argue Will?
We could go Kareem. We're going to do the next one. We're going to do Kareem, then we're going to do Will. My thing about Michael Jordan famously said, "There's no Scottie Pippen.
No.
There's no Michael Jordan without Scottie Pippen." Right? That's what he famously said. And truth, I believe him. I truly, truly believe him. He didn't win any before, didn't win any after. But where Michael, I feel like, became the greatest is because he took on what others had done, like Dr. J, these great guys. He had his adversity. Like, he did not win till very, very late in his career. But when he did win, he won a lot. But those early years, those learning years, I love the fact that we applaud Michael Jordan for getting in and lifting weights and training harder. So yes, he was Rookie of the Year. Yes, he was all-star. Yes, he was in MVP voting, but he had to work harder to beat the Detroit Pistons. That's why it took him so many years, 3 years of college and multiple years of getting there. But this is where I think Jordan is the greatest, and why I truly believe this. Michael Jordan, when he took the throne, from that point on, he never let you down. Now, it might have taken him a damn long time to become the throne holder. And he was definitely one of the greats before. He was top 2, top 3, top 4, because there was Magic, there was Isaiah, there were so many, Larry Bird. So it took him a while to get the throne. But when he got the throne, he did not let anybody else have it. There was no doubt that was it. Like, we could go numbers, we can go this. He showed up, and it was his time, and it was his time until he said, it's no longer my time. And they probably left one more on the table. I firmly believe that they left one more on the table. That's without a doubt. It would have been hard. They probably would have had to load manage him. We laugh about that, but they probably would have had to load manage him. But if they would have got to the postseason healthy, I believe that they would have won one more championship, and that would have been the end.
All right.
It's beautiful, Richard.
It was.
So do you want me to give you my response?
Yes, sir. Here's your response. What are your thoughts? I just really wanted you to watch Jay Hare squirm making an
So for that alone, Jay Hare,
congratulations. I gave a pretty good case for LeBron.
You did. You did. I just wanted to hear you say positive things about. And next, we're going to get Trump people to say positive things about Biden. We're going to get Biden people to say positive things about Trump.
Okay, so with that said, let's bring it full circle, because Jay Hare, yours was the best. What did you think? Because I actually saw Channing's tweet and why it went viral based off of your response to his Twitter. What did you think about, to bring it full circle, what did you think about Channing's take on MJ?
His take when he tweeted that out?
When he did the podcast and it went viral, yeah.
Oh, yeah. When he went, I thought, man, is this guy kidding? I go, he's got to be trolling. He has to be trolling.
Did you hear the whole thing, though? I literally said Jordan is 1A, 1B, right? And I said when I was 10, when Jordan was amazing and I didn't understand the game, I said, being with LeBron and seeing what he does, there is nobody in the history of the NBA that makes everybody that much better. Nobody. No offense to Magic, no offense to Jordan, no offense to Kobe. And I said, right, now, Magic was amazing. But I also said, and what I've said later on is, to discredit the people that came before Jordan and that come after Jordan, right, is a disrespect. I think he said this. To disrespect what Tim Duncan has done, to disrespect what Kobe has done, or Magic, or Kareem, or Wilt, is not fair to the game, because Jordan was this larger-than-life person in his style of game.
For a reason.
For a reason, right? For a reason. And you notice Kobe was Jordan, took Jordan's style and did it and was super successful. LeBron realized, that is not me. And he created a whole nother niche, right? He took what Magic did and said, I'm going to be a Magic-esque type player version 7.0. So to say that Jordan is this guy that is like above and beyond everybody is almost like, hold on, Jordan did his winning by scoring and being unstoppable. LeBron does his winning by making everybody, me, Richard, Matthew Dellavedova.
Why are you bringing me into this?
Because you suck too. Like Mozgov, everybody who, like, for the most part, shouldn't have, like, would be regular role players. We become absolute animals with LeBron.
No, there's no question.
Okay.
There's no question LeBron James makes his teammates better. I mean, you'd have to be a moron not to realize that. And
is that not a skill, though?
Yeah, he's got an incredible set of skills as far as making sure, okay, he's always eyeing the floor, and I'm going to hit this guy at the right spot at the three-point line so he can get a shot off. I know my player, if I look at it this way, he's going to cut towards the basket, and I'll feed him for the easy layup. There is no question LeBron James does that, okay? I never said that. That's why I say he's on the Mount Rushmore of players of all time. He's one of the greatest players of all time. But when it comes to Michael Jordan, and people always mistake this. They say, well, Michael Jordan didn't make his teammates better. That is the biggest lie, okay? Michael Jordan did it in a different way, okay? He said, hey, if you guys, Channing, Richard, if you guys were, let's say you guys were young, I'm going to grab you guys.
Why do you keep bringing me into this shit?
Because you guys are great players. I'm going to grab you guys, and I'm going to make you guys work out with me. I'm going to train you guys, okay? I'm going to make
What guys did he develop?
Michael Jordan?
Yeah. Which one?
Michael Jordan developed Horace Grant, Scottie Pippen, B.J. Armstrong. Bro, they're called the Breakfast Club.
I'll give you that. He's like, oh, you want to mention those guys?
Oh, those guys? Hey, listen, look, I like to argue. Sometimes got to test mental.
I know it's a different era. And listen, I know it's a different era, and I'm all for free agency. And people knock LeBron James for leaving Cleveland. He was a free agent, okay? When you're a free agent in any sport, you have a right to go wherever you want, okay? So back then, when Jordan's era,
team?
They didn't, huh?
Did you see LeBron's team they took to the finals?
Hold on a second. I'll get to that.
Boo-boo.
So Michael Jordan,
trash can.
So Michael Jordan didn't have that option, okay? They didn't do that back then. They didn't just, okay, I'm a free agent, I'm leaving, and I'm going to join Charles Barkley, I'm going to join Magic Johnson or Larry Bird. They didn't have that. So Michael Jordan said, okay, this is what I have, all right? I'm going to make sure I develop Scottie. I'm going to make sure I develop Horace, B.J. Armstrong, make John Paxson better. And I'm going to take that weight and bring them along. Now, it's going to be a little bit of a tough love because they were trying to battle the Pistons, and those guys were ruthless. So he had to make sure these guys were not just mentally tough, but they had to be physically tough as well. So he stood there by their side and make sure that they were tough, physically and mentally, emotionally. And he helped bring these guys along, and they were the youngest team to ever win the NBA championship. To this day, the 91 Bulls were the youngest team to ever win the NBA Finals, okay? And then a different set of a group came in the second three-peat, where these guys were banged up and old. In 1998, the Bulls had no business winning that championship. Scottie Pippen was on his last leg as far as his back. He had to have surgery. He wanted to play and just gut it out, just be there for Michael. Dennis Rodman was getting older. He wasn't even starting anymore. And I knew in 1998, they weren't beating the Jacks. But Michael Jordan was so stubborn. He willed his team to win, okay? That's what separates Michael Jordan from anybody, okay? He's going to find – if you give me something – hold on a second. I'm not talking about getting the finals. I'm not talking about –
No, I didn't say that. Which one do you think – if you had to pick between which one was more impressive, the Finals Bulls victory where these guys were on their last leg, or let's say coming back from 3-1, which one would you say was more impressive? Truth be, and this is not a loaded question. I know 3-1 is the first time ever. That's fine. I respect that. But that's not that we don't have to, we can take a portion of that one out.
No. Yeah, no. Honestly, they're totally different things, but I'm gonna say this.
Agreed. Agreed. That's what I'm saying.
Hold on a second. I would say as a team-wise, what Cleveland Cavaliers did coming back from 3-1 is more impressive. But I will say this.
Individually.
You guys were healthy. You had Richard, you're a veteran guy. Kyrie Irving was a stud. Obviously, LeBron James was unbelievable in that series, okay? You guys went on an incredible run, and you guys beat them on the road in Game 7. So team-wise, I'm going to say that was more impressive. Individual-wise, by one guy, Jordan had to literally carry that team drag these guys to the finish line. Pippen couldn't play anymore because of his back, and Dennis Rodman was hurt. He wasn't playing. So individually-wise, Jordan was more impressive. Team-wise, the Cavs.
Can I say something? Do you know Kyrie and LeBron scored 41 points each, and then everyone else was like 12, 2, 6. And I think LeBron almost averaged a triple-double that whole series. So to say that we were doing –
that's why I said team-wise.
Wait.
He led the series in points, scoring, rebounds, and steals, and blocks. Led the entire series.
Hold on. It wasn't an individual thing.
Okay.
Everybody with everything. Don't worry about it. He didn't coach as good as Steve Kerr.
You just mentioned Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving had 41 with LeBron having 41, but Kyrie Irving hit the game-winning shot. Okay, it was a collective effort.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it's not collective. That's those two guys.
So those two guys were unbelievable, and I guess the rest of you guys were nothing, right?
In case I will stand by and say that we are
nothing. We
played
played hella good defense.
Ladies and gentlemen, in case anybody was wondering, Ali is still here, right?
No. But here's
this is what you call the ultimate team player, the one that knows when to shut up because they're talented.
No, here's my thing. Nobody looks at LeBron's stats during that series, which is asinine to me. To look at what he did during that series versus that team is nobody looks at it. But then they go, he's the team player. It wasn't like he was getting 12, 10, and 6. He was getting 41, 17, and 12.
I'm giving you guys 1 minute. 1 minute.
I'm going to say this.
To get everything out you need to
I think
moving on.
In 2015,
right.
2015 when Kyrie was hurt, and I think Kid Love was banged up too. And they lost.
Love was dead.
I think that LeBron played his best, not just offensively, but defensively. He was everywhere defensively. And they lost that series. In 2015, go back and look at that series. I thought LeBron played, if not better, in 15, they did 16. As great as he played in 16, he had help in 16. 15, everybody was hurt. Dellavedova, I think, was the best player because everybody was
player. Yeah, Delly.
But I'm just saying, LeBron was everywhere defensively and offensively. And I remember that series. I go, man, this cat is balling. This was 2015. And they didn't win, but he still balled.
Okay.
Can we say this? How many Hall of Famers did Jordan always play with or be coached by?
Well, you can't do that because
don't even go there.
Is not finished.
LeBron had way more Hall of Famers than Jordan. Jordan played with one All-Star, Scottie Pippen. That's it.
That's all he needed.
One.
That's all he needed.
So Phil Jackson is not the greatest coach of all time.
How many championships did Phil Jackson win before Jordan?
Jay Hare. I'm going to be really honest. Baseball is probably the third hardest sport to play.
Are you insane?
It's probably
why.
What's number one and number two?
I'm going to say, as far as like skill set and athleticism, I think basketball players are the best athletes. Are the best athletes in the world. But I will say that I think hockey to me, and just I'm trying to figure out what they do, it is probably number one. And I don't know what number two is, but I'm going to say basketball.
Here we go. I had this argument with my boy.
Third is baseball.
I don't agree with that, Jared. Listen, number one hardest thing to do is to block a penalty kick.
We're on vodka now.
Number two, hardest thing in all the sports, to get a hole-in-one. That's just me. Number three, consistently hit a baseball.
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right.
Guys, we all know we're all friends here. We're all friends here. You guys know I could have played in the NBA. I had that type of talent. I could shoot from anywhere. Everybody knows I can get my
shot. That's your shot block.
So first of all, Jared, you cannot. I watched your form. You cannot I have
Guys,
watched it.
This is one thing that bothers me. And where basketball players don't get enough credit.
So,
This is true. If I'm standing, let's say I'm standing at the wing, right? If I'm standing at the wing, and if I move 2 inches to the left, if I move a foot to the right, if I move a foot in, anywhere I move, it's a different shot than right there. And if I move 6 more inches, if I move one more foot, if I want one more foot to the right or left, front or back, it's a different shot. There are literally an innocent, similar with golf, there's an endless amount of variables that can go into a basketball shot. Defense, height, speed, stop and go. All of these things can go into a variation on top of someone trying to physically stop you from doing it. Like, meanwhile, in golf, you can't make a fucking sound. You can't hear a fucking mouse fart, and like they get upset if they hear a camera.
What does a mouse fart sound?
You want to talk about variables? You want to talk about variables, right? You guys play in a gym, no wind, 10-foot rim, it never moves. You get fouled, you get to the free throw line, nobody has to guard you, okay?
You're not guard you. There's a million people fucking screaming.
By the way,
You're at the free throw line.
That's when they're screaming.
I'm in support of Jay Hare with this one.
Hold on a second. There are so many variables in the batter's box. It's incredible. I'm not just talking about speed. I'm talking about movement, late movement. And guess what? If you somehow, some way, are able to hit the ball hard somewhere, guess what? There are 9 other defenders out there ready to make a play and jump on it defensively. So you can do everything right. You can do everything right and finally make contact, and you can line out to the shortstop. Without question, the hardest thing to do in all the sports is to get a hit off a major league pitcher. Guys, everybody knows this.
Yeah.
People,
there are more people. The hardest thing to do in sports is dunk on Shaq. That was the hardest thing to do. It's never been done.
Or if you're Channing, throw out a pitch.
Oh man,
it was hurricane season.
Oh jeez. Jay Hare, did you see?
I remember. I have it. I need to see it.
Oh, Google it. Oh, wait, get on your phone. Is this your phone or?
You guys keep talking. No. I'll do it for you.
No.
I'll do it for you.
I'll do it for you.
Can I preface this? Stop, Richard. They told me, hey, we're warming up. I've never thrown off a mound. I'm legit 7 foot. So it's a little windy, right?
So you're closer. When you release it, you're closer to the plate. It should be easier for you.
Yeah, but when you release it, the guy is standing up with his hands like this. So I'm like, oh, this is easy, right? So I'm hucking it to him. When he went down into a catcher thing and went like this, all of a sudden, I said, holy shit, I can't even see that dude. I need LASIKs. But then I went on a mound, and I'm like, dude, I'm going to throw it into the dirt. So what I tried to do was sidearm that thing. Oh, Allie, you're going to rat me out. Tekashi 6'9", Allie. Let me go get some more wine. I'll be right back.
No. You can't leave.
It was windy. It was a bunch of stuff. I had elbow tendonitis. I was doing arm curls. It was a lot of stuff. Ready? Oh, yeah, there we go.
Uh-oh. We're going to show the whole thing.
The jersey was too tight. I asked for an XL. They gave me a medium. It was unbelievable.
Watch this.
Oh, my God. That's just throwing.
That's like
well, here's the problem. I was throwing like that for 20 minutes.
Jay Hare, that's private school. That's what that is. It's private school.
So Andre East is in my school. What does that mean?
That's private school. He was on scholarship.
I don't throw off a mound. I'm 7 foot. I played one sport. They only let me play basketball.
Jay Hare, two questions. Questions for you. One, let's start with the celebration of the 100-year anniversary of the Negros League. It is very meaningful to you.
Thank you, Allie, for bringing us back.
Yeah, of course. Jay Hare, it's meaningful to you because of your grandfather.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
Correct?
Okay.
Yeah, very, very meaningful. My grandfather played in the Negro Leagues. He played with and against Satchel Paige, Jackie Robinson, Josh Gibson. When Josh Gibson would catch, my grandfather played third base. So I used to hear these type of players growing up, at the dinner table. I remember in the 90s, it became chic, a cool thing to learn about Black history. I remember Will Smith had the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air show. That kind of started bringing stuff in the forefront, and we started learning about more Black history. And I hear about great players like Double Duty Ratcliffe. And I remember a classmate did a project of Double Duty Ratcliffe. And I was like, wait a minute, he was just at my house, about 6 weeks ago. He was friends with my grandfather and friends with my dad. And Double Duty Ratcliffe was a legend because in doubleheaders, he would pitch the first game of the doubleheader and then catch the second game of the doubleheader. We talk about load management now as athletes that we, take time off because it helps our performance in the long run. But back then, these guys were playing 3 games sometimes a night. They get on a bus and travel to the next city. Sometimes it's 3, 5, 7-hour bus rides, and have to get up and play a doubleheader. You know what I'm saying? While sleeping on the bus. Okay. These guys were incredible athletes. Satchel Paige, and not only was an incredible pitcher, probably the greatest pitcher of all time, was an unbelievable athlete. Played some basketball as well. And I think when you look at all sports, you look at the LeBron James of the world, you look at the Tim Andersons. He's a shortstop, up and coming superstar of the Chicago White Sox, and so many athletes that are playing today. I think the athletes now were better than us as recognizing the past. And the Negro Leagues was the start of it. That's where Jackie Robinson got his start. And, that's why we tip our hat to those great players. Jackie Robinson gave us that opportunity, but Jackie Robinson always said, hey, I wasn't even the best player in the Negro Leagues. I was probably top 15, top 20. There were better players than Jackie Robinson. They just didn't get the opportunity that Jackie got. So that's why we were tipping our hats. And because of Jackie's success and the Negro Leagues, we're able to have Bill Russell down the road, Wilt Chamberlain, and so many great athletes in other sports. And that's why it's great to see black athletes, and really all athletes of all colors, thrive and have that platform. I think, and I say it all the time, I think the NBA athlete probably today does a better job of any athlete as making sure as they voice what's need to be said. And if you look back at it, the last 5, 7, 8 years, LeBron has been at the forefront of it. And now because LeBron has started to kind of speak his mind, it allowed other guys to speak their mind. And it's been very powerful. And it's great to see. And I know Major League Baseball players, I've talked to some black players that are still playing and just retired. CC Sabathia. These guys are trying to also be that voice too for positive change. So hopefully the change will come sooner rather than later. But as you see what's going on in today, I think the players today are forcing that change.
Sure, that's very well said. I know that this has been a fun podcast. And again, with all the joking, but also the fun put aside about the GOAT debate, we do have an interview coming out on CBS, the national news, CBS on Thursday, to which you obviously extend a lot of love to LeBron.
I did.
And for, I assume, the initiative and what's going on right now.
How hard was that? How hard was that?
Not hard at all. Because, again, guys, we can talk about – you know what's great about the NBA?
No, see, this is the thing. This is the thing that bothers me about your reaction. This is the thing about it, is that, ladies and gentlemen, before we ever did an interview, before we ever worked together, we did a fantasy football draft every single year. It's in Vegas. It's in Tahoe. It's a location draft. So you got to be there. And it gets, it gets a little interesting. It gets a little weird. So like now Jay here wants to walk in. It's like, you know what? I that is a great point, Richard. It's like, dude, like fucking relax.
The great thing about basketball, you guys have these discussions. Nobody really has this in baseball because baseball, I think it's a little harder. And I think now is more, as basketball comes along more, there's so many more great players. Baseball, you have Babe Ruth, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, Ken Griffey Jr., you have so many guys, it's hard to choose one.
Well, yeah, and
but
it's like
there's
300 million basketball today than Michael Jordan did. So it's like now you got guys like Luka, or you have Dirk, or you have these international superstars, Giannis. Well, the dream team and the expansion of basketball and really growing it globally is like, let's say the pool for Michael Jordan was 1 billion players. But now the pool, if you want to be a great player now, is probably, let's say, 2 billion players. So the pool is doubled now. So it's actually probably a lot harder, even though there's more teams now, it's a lot harder to be great and the best today because more people are playing the sport. So Not that that's an argument against Michael Jordan being the
Yeah.
greatest. Yeah, I
So
see.
him and the Dream Team, they help grow the game, which that's what you want. You want the game to grow. But, I was on CBS News, and, they asked me a lot of things, and I'll talk about LeBron. LeBron has done amazing things off the court, okay? Him, Rich Paul, Maverick Carter, they're trying to make sure that everybody has opportunities, whether you're 5, 6, 7 years old, going to elementary school, going to junior high, high school, helping these kids get to college and graduate college, to people that are working now in the business world. I know Maverick Carter and LeBron have their own production team. It's so diverse, giving these guys a chance to get in this field of entertainment, get in this field of making movies, get in these fields of making sure everybody has an opportunity. Because as you guys know, not everybody can be a basketball player. Not everybody can be a baseball player. But they can do other things. So I think LeBron.
If Channing made it, like, anything's possible for anybody. Right? If anything, Channing can make it. I understand he's 7 feet tall, but you don't understand all of the other obstacles.
I would go see Channing Frye play for the Suns, and I'd be like, bro, another 3? Really? Get in the paint, Channing. Another 3?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I got one job, and that's to make a bucket. If I miss, I got to sit my ass down. So it's either you or me, motherfucker.
Derek, how many jobs did you used to have?
A lot of people got that barbecue chicken. Your favorite player definitely got it.
Yeah. Well, first,
what are the best athletes? What are the best athletes? What sport has the best athletes?
It's not even questions. Baseball players. Baseball players.
What?
Baseball players have to do everything. We have to be able to hit 95.
You're the fattest players.
Who says football players are the fattest? You ever seen those defensive and offensive linemen? See how fat
You're
those guys
doing
are?
windmills.
What?
Dude, offensive
Have you ever seen Mike
absolutely
Trout? Have you ever seen Bryce Harper? Have you ever seen Matt Kemp?
Dude.
Have you ever seen Andrew McCutcheon? You know my great Mookie Betts? These guys are incredible athletes.
Those guys are very good athletes. They would definitely be in the top 15 on any team.
Okay, Jared, listen.
Maybe top 10. They might crack top 10 of athletes.
Channing, you can't even throw a baseball, bro.
I can throw a baseball, just not off a mound. I'm not a pitcher.
All right, we got to wrap.
Throwing to somebody.
I'm a left field guy.
We got to wrap this up.
You have to run and catch, hop over the wall like Ken Griffey Jr., hit 95, 100 miles an hour. You got to be able to go to first or third. You got to be a complete athlete.
This might be the hardest episode that I have ever hosted. I'm just going to throw that out there. And it was my idea to have you on here, Jay Hair. But I forgot how much you guys all three love to talk. You're amazing. We have to wrap this up because we have to get going. But one more
thing. Where do you got to go?
Well, first of all, I think Luke hey, Allie, Luke has the tape. We won the Manhattan Beach championship here, led by me and then Luke Walton as well. Okay, Matt Leinart was on that team. I hit some huge three-pointers for our team, okay? So,
was that Wonder Bread or is that before Wonder Bread?
It was Wonder Bread.
We're going to end on this. We like to play this game. It's called Trippin' or Not, okay? And basically it's a hot take or a few hot takes. We're only going to do one hot take. And you have to let us know, Jay Hair. I'm not going to let Richard and Channing weigh in, and then we're going to be done. Whether or not
Michael Jordan.
Trippin' or not, the NBA bubble, the restart, and teams have to finalize their rosters by today, which would be Wednesday, before the NBA restart in Orlando begins. With that said, are the Lakers tripping or not by signing J.R. Smith?
Not tripping. He can shoot it. And he's played with LeBron.
Hey, man of many words. I respect it.
That's it?
That's it.
I thought you just wanted me to say that.
No, I love it.
Not tripping. I love it. Well, JR's a pretty good golfer, too. He's a pretty good golfer.
Better than you?
Hard not to love Swish.
JR's like a Swish.
I don't know. He's pretty good, though.
Is he better than you, Jerry?
No, he ain't better.
No one's better than Jay Hair. Not even Michael Jordan. With that said, you can catch Jerry on all the Dodger broadcasts on Spectrum Sportsnet. And, of course, check out his newest and latest podcast, Caught Lookin'. JR, thank you so much.
Anytime. And if JR doesn't work out, tell LeBron he can hit me up. I ain't afraid to shoot at 3. I'm not afraid.
Bye.
You're the best.
Listen, you're on that long list, big guy.